Hello everyone, my name is Kaseem. Welcome to the channel. So in today's video, we are going to run through the portfolio. We are going to talk about some of the changes that I'm making to the portfolio. We're going to talk about how I'm basically trying to make sure the portfolio grow over time, what I'm trying to do. We're going to look at some of the stocks that I've been selling. Like I've been selling out of Visa and I've been putting that money into Costco. We are going to talk about all that stuff in today's video. So first thing first, let's talk about what the dividend is doing on here with the portfolio. So if we talk about what the stock is doing today, we can see that the stock market is generally down, but not much. Is down by 0.31%. Not much. It's basically nothing. If you look here, we made $1.34 in dividend, and if you take a look at the past week, we're up 1.6%, $1,300. We made $6 in dividend, and if you take a look at 1 month here, 1 month the portfolio is up 1,700, 2% in the past month, and we've made $218 in dividend right here. Amazing. $218 in dividend. This is quite nice. What more can I say? Last month coming into this month was a pretty big month when it comes to the world of dividend. It's a pretty big month, so it's doing okay. I'm gonna keep on investing in the markets like I've been doing last year. The whole thing has been working for me. I'm excited to see what the future brings. But I think over time, if I keep doing this can easily replace my income once I get to that $1 million in this portfolio. So let's look at the past 3 months. So in the past 3 months, we've made $300 in the portfolio in dividend, $300 in dividend. So that's roughly about $100 a month that this has done right now. I mean, every month is different, but in the past 3 months, it has averaged $100 a month. So that's pretty good in 100% passive income. So that is pretty good. The next thing that I want to touch on is here. The portfolio made a $7,000 gain. Basically 10%, close to 10% return here. It's been doing quite well. If you look at the past year, $11,000 gain, 21%, and $738 in dividend. Really nice here. The numbers for the portfolio is doing very well. So let me briefly touch on why the portfolio has been performing so well. In here, I basically have all my growth stock, all my Tesla and everything like that. That's one of the reasons why the portfolio has been, performing very well. And if we take a quick look at the breakdown of where all the money is mainly coming from when it comes to the dividend part of the portfolio here, you guys can see basically a lot of money comes from the passive income section, from the ETF section, global value, all this core holdings. That's where most of the money comes from. This is where my growth aspect is as well. Like this section right here, this is where the growth aspect of the portfolio is. If you take a quick look in here, we can see the sectors that I'm investing in. All of these sectors, they've done well. If I take a quick look at 1 year performance, in the past year, they've done very well. Made $6,000 gain here. A lot of it is attributed to Tesla. Tech has done well. Monthly income have done well. This has done really well. I think over time, this monthly income part will definitely overtake energy and transportation section here. And I'm looking to buy a lot more real estate as we have the situation with Rona. So I'm looking to add more into real estate. Just this whole section here, this whole portfolio here, I'm looking to bring everything up to allocation. Make sure this is doing well. So I think these are the things that have really helped the portfolio grow a lot when it comes to this portfolio here. So when it comes to the portfolio here, the stated goal is still the same. The goal is to grow the stock portfolio over time. Make sure I'm getting paid dividend, and at the same time, make sure I put my money into companies that are growing really fast, and hopefully companies that there's less likelihood that I'm gonna lose my money. Okay, so that is basically the point of what I'm doing here. That is the ultimate goal of what I'm doing here with this portfolio. So let's get into the next segment and the next section, and we'll talk about some of the changes that I've made into the portfolio in more details. So there have been some changes to the portfolio, and some of the changes that I made to the portfolio in this week's update is in the ETF section. It's in the bond holdings of the ETF section. So today the market really went down. So far this year the market has been going down, but today especially we saw this move down. So it was during this time that I've been looking for what to sell out of the portfolio for me to be able to buy some cheaper stocks at the moment. But market went up. Probably, hopefully by the end of the day, we'll go back down again. If not, that's okay as well. What I'm trying to do is basically trying to clean up the ETF section here. This is the ETF section of the portfolio. This has done really well over time, but some of the holdings here that haven't really done well are basically the bonds ETF, the one, all the different type of bonds that I had the long-term bonds here, which is long-term treasury bonds. And then this one is like municipal bonds that I had. It's done okay, but as compared to all the other segment of the portfolio, like bond hasn't really done well at all. So I'm looking to get out of all the bond holdings that I have and just basically move that money into the monthly income section. If you take a quick look here, you can see that even this intermediate treasury bonds too, it hasn't really done well. So lending money to the government hasn't really done well. So I decided to just get out of those ones there, and here are the ones that I'm selling. I'm gonna set up what I'm gonna buy in a little bit and share that with you guys in the next section. But here are the ones that I'm selling. So here's pretty much where I'm putting the money. You can see it's going into my monthly income section here. I'd rather put that money in a place where we'll be earning something every week, and it's a total of $400. So I'm selling $413 out of bonds. I'm putting that money into the monthly income section of my portfolio here, and mainly it would go into this two because the allocation hasn't been met, and we can see that right here, 200 is being split into those two ETFs there, and it's basically selling out of all this long-term bonds holdings that I had. So coming back into the ETF section here, you can see that I still have some bonds, but basically what I just did was just reduce the exposure that I have to bonds. Let me show you guys which bonds I currently have right now compared to the ones that I just sold out. So I still have this one right here. I didn't sell out of this one, but this one is a total US bond market ETF, which is okay. I'll see how that goes. It's just a bond that covers a broad US bond market. It hasn't really done well over the past year because the past year has had an amazing year, but it hasn't done well. But I will keep this for any other day that we get another down day in the S&P 500. I'll keep that for those days. You just go have the liquidity, have the money to be able to go in and buy stocks when they are cheaper. So let me show you the other one, is the second one that I'm also keeping. So the other one that I'm keeping is this one right here, the Vanguard intermediate term corporate bond. This one right here. I'm keeping this one just because as interest rate go up, companies might want to raise money and they have to pay a higher interest. So I'll keep this. Even if you take a look at this here, overall here, it hasn't really done well as well. Within these two, this one and the total US Treasury bonds, between those two, the corporate and the US Treasury, I would look to sell out of it in the future when the market creates a better buying opportunity. But for now, I'm just going to keep those two and sell out of the other four that I just showed you guys. So that is it with some of the changes that I've made with the portfolio this week. So on the other notes, these are some of the changes that I made to the portfolio. I know I talked about this a little bit earlier. Some of the changes that I made, this is the final result after trading hours and everything that's gone through. I went in, I did a little bit more changes to what I just showed you guys previously. So I just had to quickly put this into the episode so you guys can stay up to date as to some of the changes and what I'm doing with the portfolio. Again, like always, if you want to start your own portfolio, links will be in the description. If you are looking to check out, what I have going on here and you want to see the whole list of everything, links will also be in the description. You can check out my portfolio holdings and everything like that. But what I did recently was to get out of Visa, take all this money and put it into Costco, because Visa has not been a good company this year at all. Currently, this is what Visa stock looks like right now. And you guys can see here, year to date, basically, let's see, since last year, basically didn't grow much. Okay, if this is a full year performance, it just grew 3%. You know what I mean? Like Visa, a lot of their business is getting eaten up by all these other companies, PayPal, Affirm, all these other companies are basically coming in, eating their lunch here. So I think buy now, pay later stuff is gonna grow. So like Visa, they're gonna lose a lot of market share, and the stock market is basically not rewarding them much at all. And what is also going on with Costco here is, if you take a look at year to date, you guys can see on like Visa, this is Visa 1 year chart, they've gone up by like 3%. But Costco here, they've gone up by 50%. You know what I mean? And I think because Costco is such a great business, you know, they treat everybody well, their employees well, their customer well. They are such a good business that I think the chances of them not growing, this is a 5-year chart, the chances of them not growing over time is basically limited. Okay, I feel like, you know, the kind of business that they're in during the times of recession or anything like that, people will go increase their membership there because people will buy stuff in bulk. It's cheaper for people. And for Costco, they buy stuff in bulk. They have pricing power. They can, you know, they have their own store brands. You know, I just think Costco is a better place for me to put that Visa money that I made from Visa, put that money into Costco, just because I think Costco will be a better deal this year. I mean, last year it grew 50%. This money that I put into Visa, that I sold from Visa and put into Costco, the $700, it's better off in Costco. It's better off in Costco stock, because can you imagine if I had put it into Costco stock when it was just after the recession, or, you know, any time in the last 5 years, or any time in the history of Costco period, the money would have grown, you know, 62,000% that Costco has grown by over its lifetime. So I think this is a better value play for me. This is a better place for me to put that money. So that is what I've done with this Visa holdings here. Sell it, put it into this place. And basically it's the same idea with all these other companies that I have. The same idea is to just basically sell all the companies that are not doing so well. Like today, basically, I went in and I sold all the bond holdings that I still have left in the portfolio. Sell all of them and put those bond holdings into the monthly income. At least they will be generating some monthly income. It will help with the compounding growth of the portfolio. So on the other note, the other changes that I made to the portfolio right now is I changed the allocation to the ARK Invest portfolio. Basically, I just want to hold the amount that I have in there right now. I just want to hold it. I'm not looking to sell. I'm not looking to add anymore. And what I did was to reduce the allocation to about 1% target, and then move the rest of the 4% that I previously had, because previously I allocated 5%. So I'm gonna move that and I put it into the passive income section, because this section here, I'm really looking to double it this year. I'll double this section here. Double the ETF, double, you know, what I have in Berkshire, basically double everything else apart from Catwood stock. Just because he hasn't performed well don't mean he's not going to perform well in the future, but I need to do a little bit more research into all the current companies that she has and her investment strategy, you know. But I still like what she's doing in terms of researching future generational companies to invest in before other people start investing in them. And, you know, they do a pretty good research, in-depth research. They were the first one into Tesla. That don't mean they're going to repeat the same thing into the other ones, but there's every likelihood that they will be able to do it. So I'm looking to double that. Crypto this year, again, I'm looking to double this. I haven't really added any more, reduce any allocation or anything like that. This is still what I had for a couple of months now. So I'm looking to add more. Coinbase is one of those companies where, you know, it's gonna be very volatile for a long time. You know, any of these companies, is the people that are gonna win will be the people that are willing to hold it for a long time, long time, because crypto is just in its infancy. So I'm going to be looking to hold this for a long time. And you know, I do have my actual crypto that I own. I own Bitcoin and Ethereum. And you know, with the portfolio here, this portfolio, the main thing that I'm just looking to do is to keep this the same, double what I have in here this year, you know, double what I have here, double what I have here, and double what I have across everything else, apart from Cathy Wood's ARK Invest. I'm just keeping an eye on it, seeing how it performs. If it goes down some more, so let's say if this was to go down to negative 2,000 or negative 3,000, I'm gonna add some more at that point. It's down 30%. I don't want to sell it at a 30% loss. So if it goes down some more, then I'm gonna buy a little bit more to hold it for the long term. My plan was to have at least roughly about $10,000 that I've put in, and so far I've put in 6. So if it really drops down a lot more, then I'm gonna try to put in up to 10,000, and that's gonna be it pretty much forever, and just kind of gonna wait for the stock to recover and do its thing. But we all know, you know, during high times of inflation, things are always a little bit more difficult for companies like ARK Invest. Okay, things are gonna be a little bit more difficult for them because of the kind of things that they invest in. So I'm looking to just keep it, not do much to it, just hold on to it and just let it do its thing. So with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's update of this portfolio. I'm looking forward to do this more on a regular basis. This year, the most likely update that I'm going to be doing is to be doing this twice a month, updating you guys maybe on the 15th and at the end of the month, updating you guys on what I'm doing with this portfolio, how I'm changing it around. You know, that's the goal with this portfolio, because I have a bunch of other things that I'm doing. And, you know, I want to devote time equally into all my businesses, all the things that I'm trying to do. So sorry that there won't be as much of a weekly update like I used to do. So this is going to shift to about twice a month, but it's still relatively the same. Most of the stories hasn't changed. And at the same time, this year, I'm going to start talking a little bit more about going more details into personal finance, like talking about credit repair, talking about credit, talking about credit card, talking about all these different credit builders. Just want to diversify more into more financial literacy things, because I've basically ignored that in the past 2 years, and I want to start talking about that a little bit more. So more content and more details, more things still to come for the channel. So stay tuned, subscribe. Appreciate you. Until next time, see you later. Love you all. Bye.